A woman stood outside the store, her cheek red from a slap, surrounded by security guards treating her like a criminal. Phones recorded, onlookers whispered, no one knew her name yet. Inside, the white manager smirked, thinking he'd caught a thief. But moments later everything would flip. Because the woman he'd humiliated wasn't just another shopper, she was the billionaire who owned the company. And the entire world was about to find out. This is the story of power hidden in plain sight. And the slap that exposed it all. Welcome, story lovers. From where are you watching? Comment your city. It was just another Monday morning in Atlanta. Camille Hayes, graceful, sharp, and effortlessly composed, dressed in jeans and a plain tee, looked like any other shopper. No chauffeur, no designer bag. No hints of her billion-dollar empire. She had built her retail business from scratch, and today she decided to drop by one of her stores unannounced. A surprise visit to see things through a customer's eyes. The boutique buzzed with early shoppers. Perfume lingered in the air. Camille walked the aisles quietly, observing, taking mental notes. No cameras, no entourage, just her. But as she picked up a blouse to examine the stitching, a sharp voice cut through the calm. A manager she'd never seen before was watching her closely, too closely. Something in his eyes made her pause. Camille didn't know it yet, but this ordinary visit was about to unravel into a public humiliation she never saw coming. Camille strolled through the store, admiring the new summer collection she personally approved just weeks ago. But every step seemed to trigger another glare from the white store manager behind the counter. He didn't greet her, didn't offer help, just watched. Then, without warning, he stormed over. "You people are always sneaking around," he muttered. Yanking the blouse from her hand, Camille blinked, stunned. "Excuse me, I saw what you did," he snapped, trying to hide tags. "Planning to walk out with it, huh?" The words hit her like cold water. Around them, shoppers turned. Whispers rose. Phones tilted, ready to record. Camille opened her mouth to respond, but before a sound escaped, the manager raised his hand, then slapped her across the face. Gasps erupted. A woman screamed. The sting wasn't just physical, it was humiliation burning in public. Security rushed in, but not for the manager. They surrounded her. "Ma'am, we need you to step outside. No questions, no explanations." Just hands on her arms, leading her out like a criminal. She didn't resist. Not yet, not while dozens of eyes stared. Not while the cameras rolled, but inside her something was building. This wasn't just about her pride, it was about every silent insult she'd endured. Every assumption made because of her skin. What they didn't know was that Camille wasn't just any woman. She owned every shelf in that store. And now the world was about to find out. Outside the store. Camille stood silent as security barked orders, still treating her like a thief. Her cheek throbbed. Her heart pounded, not with fear, but with rising fury. A crowd circled. Phones were up. Then calmly, deliberately, she reached into her bag and pulled out her ID, not her license. Her corporate credentials. Camille Hayes, founder and CEO. She said, voice steady. The manager's smirk vanished. Security froze. Someone gasped. Wait. She owns the company? In that instant, the scene flipped. The humiliation they tried to paint on her became their shame. The silence was louder than any apology. The cameras were still rolling. This wasn't just a slap anymore. It was a lawsuit. A lesson. A reckoning. Dear audience, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps. Camille pressed charges. The manager was fired within 24 hours. Public outrage exploded across social media. News headlines read, "Black CEO assaulted in her own store." But beyond the courtroom and viral videos, the wound ran deeper. Camille had power most don't. What if she had been just another Black woman without a platform? How often does this happen, without cameras, without justice? She spoke out, not for revenge, but for change. For every voice silenced, every dignity stolen. Her story became a rallying cry, echoing far beyond retail walls, because racism doesn't always wear a hood. Sometimes it wears a name tag. How many more need to be humiliated before respect becomes a right, not a privilege? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories and new videos.